Hello again, everyone. Marcus here. I review stuff. Today, I'm reviewing the song Holland 1945 by Neutral Milk Hotel. Of course, this song comes as a request, so as always, if you would like to request something, just leave it in the comments and I'll be sure to get to it. So I don't think I've heard anything by this band before. I have heard of Neutral Milk Hotel before, just never really listened to them. I do know that they're pretty popular with all the indie heads, I think. I mean, like, this is like classic indie, right? I mean, I really don't know. I'm presuming to know more than I probably even do know. So let's give it a shot and hopefully we like it. Again, this is Holland 1945 by Neutral Milk Hotel. Here we go.
2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
I gotta say, I like that a whole lot. I love the energy throughout the song. I actually like that a lot more than I was expecting to, if I'm being totally honest. I gotta say, like, Neutral Milk Hotel is one of those bands where, like, as an outsider, like I was until, I mean, I guess I'm still an outsider. I only heard one song from them, just this one song. But as an outsider, this is a band I think of as being like one of those bands that a lot of pretentious people like, you know what I mean? I feel like that's the view that a lot of outsiders, I guess non-fans of the band, have of them, and I'm not sure why or how they've garnered that reputation. I feel like it's kind of like similar to Tool. I listen to a good amount of Tool. I like Tool, but like a lot of people who aren't fans of Tool see them as being kind of pretentious, and only pretentious people listen to Tool, that kind of thing. So again, I was surprised by how much I liked them. And just kind of goes to show that a lot of the stereotypes that we hold are just totally unwarranted. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about the song. Let's break it down further, of course, starting with the lyrics. So, let's see. Let's see, a little bit of information here. It says Jeff Mangum, that's his name, right? Mangum, sorry, not Magnum, Mangum, has stated in concerts multiple times that this song was mainly inspired by the diary of Anne Frank, as with most of the subjects explored on the album, which also links again back to the title, using the kaleidoscope lyricism found spread across in the airplane over the sea. He explores his love and admiration of Anne Frank and travels through different visions of how her legacy lives on. Okay, interesting. Very interesting topic for an album, I feel like. This song was the last to be named on the album and was originally called Untitled, just like the 10th track on the album. Eventually, Jeff Mangum settled on 2 titles given by Chris Billheimer, who was in charge of art direction when he was working on a broadsheet style lyric sheet for the album, and Holland and 1945 were placed together. Jeff Mangum liked the 2 titles so much he didn't know which one to choose, so Billheimer suggested that he use both. Okay, cool. When was this released? 1998, is that accurate? Like I said, I think this is sort of like classic indie is always what I thought of this. Anyway, let's take a look at the lyrics. So, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. The only girl I've ever loved was born with roses in her eyes, but then they buried her alive one evening, 1945, with just her sister at her side. And only weeks before the guns all came and rained on everyone. Now she's a little boy in Spain, playing pianos filled with flames on empty rings around the sun, all sing to say my dream has come. So, again, if it's about Anne Frank, obviously anybody who's read the story knows that they were, being hidden from the Nazis during the Holocaust. Obviously, eventually she was found and I believe killed. But I think it's interesting here. Now she's a little boy in Spain playing pianos filled with flames, because Spain was going through Spain was part of the Axis at that point, if I'm not mistaken. If not, I'm thinking of like the Spanish Civil War. My overseas non-American history is a little shaky in some areas, but I do know that Spain was also going through its own thing of fascism at the time, if I remember correctly. So, kind of relating what was going on here to what was going on there. So, let's see if Genius kind of supports that. Little boy in Spain and resurrection of Anne Frank's boyfriend at the time. Peter Schiff, pianos with Mangum's surrealism, just a heat, maybe danger, power, music. Interesting. This goes into a lot more detail than I was even thinking. Okay. Anyway. But now we must pick up every piece of the life we used to love, just to keep ourselves at least enough to carry on. And now we ride the circus wheel with your dark brother wrapped in white. Says it was good to be alive, but now he rides a comet's flame and won't be coming back again. The earth looks better from a star that's right above from where you are. He didn't mean to make you cry with sparks that ring and bullets fly on empty rings around your heart. The world just screams and falls apart. So I think, correct me guys if I'm wrong, but I'm really reading into this as being sort of a story of oppression to begin with. Obviously this first part to me is about Anne Frank, of course the oppression by the Nazis against Jewish people, but here you also see oppression against people living in Spain. I want to say his last name was like Franco, the dictator there, and like killed his own people or something. The details are kind of fuzzy. I'm sure someone can fill me in more on that. But then it gets to this part, and I'm reading this as sort of a civil rights thing here in America, right? It says, and now we ride the circus wheel with your dark brother wrapped in white, being like a black person, but trying to portray them as white so that that way they can, I guess, sort of. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but just kind of pass and enjoy life, right? It says it was good to be alive, but now he rides a comet's flame and won't be coming back again. So to me, it's jumping from place to place, talking about the injustices that were happening at the time, right? Let's see. Okay. Interesting. Again, this person has a totally different interpretation than I do, and I guess that's the good thing about music a lot of times is you can interpret the lyrics however you want. So, let's see, where were we? But now we must pick up every piece of the life we used to love. Oh, I will backtrack and say that right here where he says the earth looks better from a star, that's right above where you are. Again, that's why I think this song is about different forms of oppression and different events that were happening to oppress others at the time. Is because he's saying like earth looks better when you're not sitting in the middle of all this turmoil and everything. It looks better from a star, right? I think that was really clever there. But now we must pick up every piece of the life we used to love just to keep ourselves at least enough to carry on. And here's where your mother sleeps, and here's the room where your brothers were born, in indentions in the sheets where their bodies once moved but don't move anymore. And it's so sad to see the world agree that they'd rather see their faces filled with flies, all when I'd want to keep white roses in their eyes. That last part is kind of cryptic to me. I'm not too sure. Let's see. The White Rose was a nonviolent intellectual resistance group in Nazi Germany that stood for an end to fascism and war. Okay. These lyrics show how the world prefers stories about death than stories about life. Okay. Whoever wrote the commentary for these lyrics here on Genius, which is the website I always use for my lyrics, they went into depth on this one. They must be a pretty big fan. They are like looking into everything. So again, to me, what I'd read from it is just a story of oppression, whether it be in Holland or Spain or America. It's just a story of treating people poorly, using power against other people. So I thought it was interesting. That's what I read from the lyrics. I feel like this song, though, is sort of vague enough that you can take something for yourself from it. So I always like when an artist writes in a way that can be, I think, interpreted many ways. So lyrically, I give it 2 thumbs up for sure. Really liked it. Instrumentally, the song was a lot of fun. I love, just like I said, the energy behind it, just the pacing of it. A lot of great energy in the song. I want to see, let's see. So the bass was good. Robert Schneider. Horns. I liked a lot of the horns you got in there. It really, to me, complemented the energy that you got throughout the song and was a nice just change. I think if it would have just been, drums, bass, guitar, vocals, it would have been maybe not as fun. I don't know if fun's the right word, but I think with the horns in there, it really added something to the song that you would definitely been missing without. So Scott Spillane looks like he did all the horns in this one. He did a really great job. And then Jeff Mangum on vocals. I really liked his singing style, oddly enough. I guess maybe not that oddly. I just, again, wasn't really expecting to like this one just because of my preconceived notions of what this band was. But I really liked the guitar work. The vocals were fun. Again, just a really good energy. It was easy to kind of just jam out and enjoy the song. And I can really see how it would lead to what we consider, indie rock today. So instrumentally, 2 big thumbs up there as well. This was a fun listen. So with that being said, I mean, this one's going on the playlist. I really enjoyed it from an instrumental standpoint, from a lyrical standpoint, from a vocal standpoint. I think it was just a fun song to listen to. Sort of makes you think in the lyrics. Gives you a nice energy, really easy to vibe out to. So just a fun song. I liked it a lot. And with that, it's got a high replay value. I give it 2 thumbs up there as well. Overall, a fantastic song. I want to thank whoever requested this one for your request. As always, if you would like to request something, just leave it in the comments. I'll be sure to get to it. If you enjoy the music as much as I did, go support the artists. Go listen to their music wherever you can. And one place you should be able to find this song is going to be in my Spotify playlist. It's in the description below. It has every single song I've heard so far on my channel, as long as it's on Spotify. And of course, if you want to support me, just all the normal stuff you do on YouTube, like and subscribe and comment. Alright guys, that's going to be it for me. Hope to see you on the next one. Bye for now.